Hello, algebra students. This is what your final product will look like for our Unit 7 stock market game project. You can see all of the elements here. We've got our raw data over here. Then we've got a graph that shows how our account value changed over the course of the project. We also have a graph that shows at this rate how much would we expect here in 30 years. And then down here we have a summary statement that basically says what your rate was. It also says what the formula would be so that we can use this to estimate how much money you'd have at the end of the game, or sorry, at the end of 30 years. And then finally the last statement there. So this is what it should look like in the end, and this video will be how you go about getting this. We're going to start by going to Investopedia. Okay, if you go to Portfolio, which is where you should be checking up on things, what you're going to go ahead and do is go to Performance History, and you can either cut and paste all of this into an Excel spreadsheet, or you can save yourself a little bit of time and just press this button, Download to Excel right here, and save the file. Okay. And go ahead and open this up, and this is basically what you have to work with. Obviously it's not what we want our final product to look like, so we're gonna kind of close things out here. We don't need to know the cash, so feel free to delete that. We don't need the stock portfolio value either. These don't even have any data in it. They weren't part of our game. So these are the only two things. I'm going to delete all of my data from prior to when you got started on January 13th. So I'm just going to delete all of this. And now I should have just about what you should have. Okay, now that we have this, we want to go ahead and create a graph that represents the growth of our account over the last couple of weeks. So go ahead and just highlight these two columns, and then go up here to Charts. And the one that I think probably looks the best, and you can play around with this however you want, but we're going to go ahead and do Marked Line, and you see this is what you're going to wind up with. So put it over here, we'll enlarge it, make it look a little bigger, and if we want to edit it, which you do, personalize it a little bit, you can go ahead and come up here. Spinning wheel of death. Let's go ahead and just put your name, or I'll put my name, Mr. Carlson's account value. Alright, well we have that, and that's a big piece to it. Now, if we're going to find out how much we would have in the future, we're going to need to go ahead and calculate the rate that our account grew. So let's go ahead over here, and let's just, actually, you know, before we do that, let's go ahead and just do years, and then future values. Yes, Miss Murphy?
What meeting did Tim have?
I don't know what meeting Mr. Walker had.
In the class, isn't it?
That's not good.
So I just know where he went.
I don't know where he went either. Sorry. I apologize. I'll try to edit that out. But if not, I continue to apologize. Okay, so we have the year in this column. We have the future value in this column. So let's go ahead and put year 0 here, and then if you just do the next couple of years and then highlight this all, Excel will automatically pick up the pattern, and if you extend that down, uh-oh, something wrong happened. Oh, wrong pattern. Put 2 in there. So 0, 1, 2, and then extend that pattern down. You should just get a list of numbers 0 through 30. So this is year 0. Year 30 would be 30 years from now when you're like 33 years old. Okay, now in order to find the future value, we know that this grows exponentially, and so we want to write an exponential equation for it, we need to know the original value, which is 100,000. So obviously we have that, but the thing that we don't have is the rate. So we're going to have to calculate the rate. And to do that, let's go ahead and we'll write rate right here. Move this out of the way. And then we need to calculate a formula for the rate. So anytime you want to use a formula on Excel, you need to press equals, and that lets it know that you need, or that you're going to be working with a formula. And in order to find the rate as a percent, or I guess as a decimal first, remember what you're going to do. You're going to take from pre-algebra new minus original over the original. So the new value is what you currently have minus the original value. Yours should be 100,000. Mine is different because I cut off the rest of the data. And let's see, let's go ahead and put this in parentheses so that it does the order of operations for us. And then we want to divide by the original. Okay, and when you press enter, you're going to get something that might look a little bit awkward. And so go ahead and click on this, and then two-finger click or right-click, and we need to format this cell. Let's see, over here we want percent, and you can see that that turns it into a percent. 4.94%. All right, great, we have the rate. And now for the future value, we're going to go ahead and put in a formula, y equals a times b to the x. So again, we press equals, and then we want a, the principal, 100,000, and then times 1 plus the rate, and then to the, so use the caret symbol, shift 6, to the what power? Well, we want to use actually this number that's right here behind year. So that's unfortunate. I think I'm going to have to delete this and start it over. Hey, another visitor, Mr. Cosmac. What's up? It's a video recording for a lesson I'm putting online. See ya. All right. Again, we'll try to edit that one out too. Okay, so maybe if I move this over here, I'll be able to do this. Okay, let's try it again. So equals 100,000 times 1 plus the rate to the, here we go, to this power. And then we'll press enter. Yep, this happens. Press yes. All right, there we go. And we would expect this to be our answer here. Now, this formula, we can just continue to go down, but we need number here for the rate in order to do that. And so, go ahead and press 0.0494, or whatever your rate is. And then we can just copy and paste this all the way down to the end, clicking and dragging. Okay, and at this point, all we have to do to find the future value out there for 30 years is click and drag this down, and there we go. Now these numbers here don't look real nice, so again, let's format these. So format cells. Let's go ahead and turn it into currency with 2 decimals. Press OK, and now we have some nice clean dollar amounts. All right, at this point we are going to go ahead and we're going to make our last graph. Okay, our last graph will represent the future growth. This should look like a nice smooth exponential curve graph, and we are going to just highlight the future value and the year and go back up to line, and let's go ahead and just go ahead and do line again. And here again you see a nice smooth exponential curve that measures the year that you've invested compared to the value that you would have. Alright, let's slide this on over here. And then in order to create our summary statements down here, well, I just wrote it in line. So the first one was our rate, so describing our rate. So over the, let's see, and if it happens, just go to home. Mine looks like it's going to the left, so I want it, or to the right, so switch to the left. So over the last 15 days, my portfolio has grown at a rate of 4.94%. Okay, and then down here, we, again, I want it left, not right aligned, so we can use the formula, I guess we'll say the exponential formula, y equals 100,000 times 1.0494 to the t power to estimate. Remember, this is just an estimate, it's not guaranteed. Estimate our, let's say, my future value. And then finally, in the end, therefore, therefore, we could reasonably expect to have, and then just this number down here for 30 years, $424,000 in 30 years. Now, if you noticed on my example that I used at the very beginning, I had colored some things to make it look good, so all you have to do there is highlight what you want to have highlighted, and then come up here and you can pick from any of these colors, whatever you would like. Feel free to use that. Okay, that's it. That's your project for Unit 7. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a little about the stock market and exponential growth.